Hey, what's going on, guys? Flick here. Welcome to episode 9 of our FIFA 19 career mode series with Crystal Palace. We're coming off an episode that saw a lot of difficult fixtures, including Spurs, which we managed to win, Manchester United, which we unfortunately lost, and then a hard-fought victory against Burnley, who were one of the strongest defensive teams that I've played in this series, purely because they were marking us with 11 players behind the ball. But we're continuing this difficult and long month of December that'll see a lot of congested fixtures. We'll start today with a match against top of the table West Ham, who have started to lose some matches, but they're still a very strong team regardless. And then 2 more matches against teams in the upper half of the table, Brighton and Leicester City. But it's going to be back and uploading this series regularly. We should be back to 4 episodes a week. At least that's my plan moving forward. If you guys are enjoying this series, feel free to drop a like on the video to support the channel. And if you're new around here, you can also subscribe. Once again, we'll start this month with a squad report. Ayer going up +1 in his overall since November. +1 to his jumping and sprint speed, +2 to his agility, +7 to his interceptions, +1 to dribbling, free kick accuracy, finishing, heading accuracy, and short passing, +5 to his marking, a +7 to slide tackle and stand tackle. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has seen a +1 growth since last month, +1 to his balance, sprint speed, strength, reactions, and vision, +2 to his acceleration and agility, +7 to his interceptions, +1 to his curve, free kick accuracy, heading accuracy, long shots, and short passing. A +2 to his penalties, +3 to ball control, +4 to marking and slide tackle, and finally a +5 to his stand tackle. Baptiste has gone up +1 since last month, going up +1 in his balance and aggression, +2 to his strength, a +1 to dribbling, free kick accuracy, long passing, as well as a +2 to ball control, marking, short passing, slide tackle, and stand tackle, a +3 to his finishing and volleys, a +4 to his long shots, and lastly, a +5 to his shot power. Flanagan has also gone up +1 since last month, going up +1 to his sprint speed, aggression, and reactions, +2 to his acceleration, and a +3 to his agility, +1 to ball control, free kick accuracy, and long shots, as well as slide tackle and stand tackle, a +2 to dribbling, finishing, heading accuracy, marking, and short passing. And finally, we have a +4 for his long passing. Max Meyer going up +1 since last month. Good to see him back on the attribute growth screen. A +1 to his jumping, stamina, attacking positioning, and composure. +3 to sprint speed and interceptions. Going up +1 to his crossing and penalties, volleys, and short passing. +2 to his stand tackle. A +3 to his long passing. A +4 to his shot power. And then a +7 to his long shots, which is really showing true in this career mode. He started to score some long range efforts, so the work on his shot power and long shots do appear to be paying off. Moving into a couple final players to see some growth, we have Wilfried Zaha all the way down here. We've been working on his finishing as of late, and it's paying off in the player growth, going up +1 in his overall, now an 83 overall rating, +1 to his acceleration, +1 to aggression and vision, +2 to attacking positioning, and then for the technical attributes, a +1 to his ball control, curve, free kick accuracy, finishing, long shots, marking, penalties, and short passing, a +2 to his dribbling, and then a +3 to his shot power. Factoring the poll results from the last episode, we made the decision to promote a few of our youth academy players. So what I'm going to do is talk about each of the players that I do end up promoting, and then I'll show them in the squad hub so that you can see their potential. Also appreciate all of you guys that were sharing your insights on the youth academy, pretty much letting me know that I should only promote players that have a 60+ overall rating, and probably only promoting players that have a 90+ potential, which makes sense because with the number of youth academy players that we're promoting with 3 scouts, really only 90+ potential players will make the cut and eventually see some play time. But enough talk about that. Let's talk about the players that are seeing some growth. But before that, one final thing is that one of you mentioned that Daniel Koulibaly is a 15-year-old 6'7", which is absolutely incredible for a center defensive mid. I think in past FIFAs, also when they turn 16, they like grow 6 inches in their height. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case for Koulibaly. 6'7" is fine for me, and he is going to be a tank in the midfield. If any goal kicks goes away, he's going to win them with an aerial challenge. But let's get on to the players that we're promoting. The first one being Charlie Murphy. We scouted him out during our England session, and he looks to be a pretty decent player. CDM as well, 60 overall, 81 to 94 potential. So we'll be adding him to the senior squad and hopefully giving him some playtime in the upcoming matches. Next player to promote is Joel Bailey. He's a center back, 60 overall as well, a 75 to 91 potential. Valerio Ortiz will eventually be our starting goalkeeper in a few seasons' time. He was our best prospect that we scouted out of Mexico, and he looks to be pretty decent. 61 overall, 89 to 94 potential, all good there. 6'1". It's a little bit shorter for a keeper. I tend to use taller keepers, but I think he'll be just fine for us. Mario Rocha is a very new addition to the team. A 17-year-old center back, 65 overall, 80 to 94 potential, already a value close to $1 million. He's left-footed as well, and so we can have some more left-footed options in this team. Joseph Gagnon is a center back out of the United States. 63 overall, 78 to 94 potential. We'll see if he actually stays near that mark because he's a fairly new addition, but his value is pretty good, so I thought we would add him. And then the final player that we'll be promoting is Peter Price. He's our Scouted Future Star that also came out of England. A 16-year-old center mid, value of $475,000. His overall is at 61, 80 to 90 potential, so he's dropped off a bit since we signed him, but he still looks pretty decent. If he has a good skill move and weak foot set, he should be fitting into our substitutes and reserves just fine. And no problem at all with the contract negotiations. One thing to add, though, is that Joel Bailey is actually too young for me to promote right now. So once he hits 16, I'll definitely be promoting him to the senior squad. But for now, let's check out these 5 players that we have promoted. We'll start by taking a look at our goalkeeper, Valerio Ortiz. He does have the potential to be special, which is what you always want to see for a player's status. And then looking at his attributes, 1-star skill moves and a 4-star weak foot. And then for his goalkeeper stats, he's a bit on the low side for handling and positioning. He's very gifted in the kicking, which, to be completely honest, that's the attribute I care the least about, but we'll be focusing on player training for him and hopefully making him a well-balanced keeper. Mario Rocha has an exciting prospect status, and then looking at his attributes, he has 4-star skill moves and a 3-star weak foot, left-footed, and 6'2", so all very good attributes for a center back. And he has medium-high work rates, which is even better. That's honestly perfect. Already very gifted for his physical attributes, which is what we want to see, looking for a physically strong player. A 75 acceleration and 64 agility is honestly good enough to be starting for me, and 84 strength as well. So if we can work on his defending attributes, I think he could honestly be a starter in maybe 1 or 2 seasons, so a very good prospect here. Joseph Gagnon has the potential to be special, making him the second player that has that status that we've promoted so far. He has 3-star skill moves and a 5-star weak foot. We're really getting lucky in terms of our skill move and weak foot set so far. Hopefully that'll still be the case for our outfield players and not just our defenders. He has low work rates, which isn't the best, but he's 6'2", so that does make up for it. Similar to Russia, he has very good physical attributes, and then looking at the defending, those are things that we need to work on. Charlie Murphy, along with having a great name, has an exciting prospect status. And for his attributes, he has a 3-star skill move and 3-star weak foot set, so he's going to be very well balanced at that center defensive mid position. The only thing that will really ruin players is 2-star skills or 2-star weak foot or lower. Basically, anything below that, I just can't stand. I need my players to be able to use both of their feet. So 3-star is just fine for me. Medium work rate, so I'd probably use him as more of a center mid than a center defensive mid, especially coupled with the fact that he's only 5'11". Similar to our other players, pretty good for the physical attributes, needs to work on the technical ones. Peter Price is the big one for me. He's our Scouted Future Star player, and I have high expectations for him. He does have an exciting prospect status, and then for the attributes, 4-star skill moves and a 3-star weak foot. Not bad at all. Lower on the physical attributes compared to our other players, but to be fair, we didn't scout him out for physically strong. He was assigned to us. So I'm guessing that he is much more gifted in the technical areas. Already 80 curve for a 61 overall player, so given a free kick, we might just put him on it. Now that we've promoted these youth academy prospects, it's going to be difficult for us to choose which players to train. I think I'm going to always assign 2 training slots to Ortiz. That will allow him to develop as a goalkeeper more quickly and hopefully have him as a backup option here in the near future. Still working on Wan-Bissaka, Ayer, and Riedwald's defending because their growth has been amazing so far, and I want to keep it that way. In case you missed it, here's a look at the league table going to our first match of the episode against West Ham United, who sit 4 points clear at the top. A win would not only be big for us, but also for all the other clubs in the league as we try to make this a closer race for the title in the Premier League. I won't be making any drastic changes to our starting 11 quite yet. I'll probably save that for sides lower in the Premier League table. So it's a typical starting 11 for us. Front 3 of Zaha, Benteke, and Townsend. A midfield trio of Loftus-Cheek, Meyer, and Milivojevic, and the back line of Van Aanholt, Sakho, Tompkins, Wan-Bissaka, Guaita between the sticks for us. One thing I want to mention before we get into this match is comment from Matt about Yannick Bolasie and the fact that he's currently on loan at Aston Villa. And the reason that we were able to pick him up for a transfer from Everton is because the squads I used at the start of this career mode save did not have that loan move reflected. So unfortunately, not all transfers will have been made in this career mode save. That's just kind of the matter, and we kind of have to roll with it. It's nothing I can do now. This is a very interesting statistic. West Ham are the best defensive team in the Premier League. However, we're the best attacking team in the Premier League. Obviously, those two can't balance out unless we get a 0-0 draw, so we'll see which team comes out on top. Here's the West Ham team that has been so strong defensively. I think a large reason why they've been so good is their formation. The 4-2-3-1 is a solid defensive formation. And it looks like they do like to pass the ball around. Lots of short passing options in this 4-2-3-1. Obiang playing it out wide to Snodgrass. We're trying to mark all options here. Not give West Ham any open looks on goal as Sanchez finds Arnautovic, their striker up top. Gets by one of our defenders. Guaita pulls off an early save and an early corner kick for West Ham United. They've got some options in the box. Carlos Sanchez does come to mind, as well as Obiang. They'll play to the far post. We'll get that one cleared. This could be a look for us as we try to find Zaha on the left. Options in the box. We'll send it in. Looking for Andros Townsend. He rises up. And the deflection goes to Loftus-Cheek. He'll play this one backwards, and it's Milivojevic, an open look on goal, and Fabianski forced into making a save. A lot of action here for the fans as we get 2 early shots on target from both sides. Max Meyer to come short for this one. And try and find the number 17. That's Christian Benteke. Looking to get this shot off, but he gets swarmed by the West Ham defenders. We're still with it, though. Max Meyer calling for it. We'll get it to him. Just looking for a little bit of space to send in this cross to the far post. West Ham getting it cleared. Obiang drifting from a central role out wide and playing this through ball to Felipe Anderson, the new signing from Lazio, with a nice pass over to, I believe it was Marto Arnautovic, and West Ham with another corner kick. They've looked strong so far, and we have our work cut out for us if we want to hold a clean sheet, as Arnautovic with an acrobatic effort. I swear, volleys are a little bit overpowered at this stage in FIFA 19. Sure, those efforts go in from time to time, but we've conceded a few of those this season. Still a spectacular effort, and I'm not taking anything away from it, but we defended that pretty well. It's unfortunate to concede. I'm looking at the replay. It actually deflected off of Wan-Bissaka. He did well to mark his near post, but it was just over him, and the deflection ends up in the back of the net. Some nice passing plays. We have an open look for Benteke. Was kind of forced into taking the shot more quickly than he would have liked. And as a result, that one does go well wide. The passing play's there, though, and I think we're going to create some chances. Oh, that's a nice through ball to find Felipe Anderson. Is Wan-Bissaka going to be able to catch up? Wow, what a spectacular effort from Felipe Anderson. West Ham have just scored 2 incredible goals. And no question why they're top of the league. Their players are stepping up when they need them to. They know that we're a solid Crystal Palace team. We haven't lost a lot of games. We've gotten more draws than we would have liked, but we need to condense our back line and not give up those through balls. Good effort to win back possession. We might have a chance here. If we can slip this through ball, our player might be offside. Patrick Van Aanholt continuing his run. He's onside, actually. And a whip it across to the far post. Not exactly what I would have wanted. I kind of gave up on the play because I thought Van Aanholt was offside. But we'll try to push on with just 3 minutes of added time. If we can win back possession, we might have one more attack left in us. But West Ham surely should be happy about a 2-0 result right now. I don't expect them to make any drastic decisions. As they find Campana inside, Snodgrass trying to cross. That'll probably be the last attack. While the stats aren't too bad, the scoreline is not great for us, so I think we're forced to make a couple of changes to our formation. Just experimenting with something different and see how it lines up against West Ham. I've seen a few suggestions asking me to try out this 4-4-1-1 formation, having Zaha sit just behind Christian Benteke up top, and we're going to give that an attempt. I've also made one substitution, bringing on Yannick Bolasie for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who I would have substituted anyway. Benteke spotting out the run from Zaha. This is a nice run. If he can find one more player in the middle, this is some great play. And all of a sudden, the change of formation might have just made this a match. I think that's Milivojevic, our number 4, stepping up and making the correct run. We needed that extra player, otherwise Zaha didn't have any options. And who else would it be to score in a crucial goal? He's been on fire lately, scoring 2 goals against Burnley. He'll score in this match as well. Milivojevic, what a player. Benteke making a run down the left. He'll get it. Has a few options inside. Instead, he'll play it backwards to Van Aanholt. Still on the pitch for us. As we see out this attack. Zaha linking it up with Benteke. Might have a finesse shot effort from here. And it is on target. Fabianski forced into a good save. I'm not trying to aggravate any injuries, so we'll be taking Van Aanholt off and bringing on Koyate. It's not his preferred position, but I'm sure he can play just fine in a left-back role. In terms of other substitutions, I do want to make one more change, probably in the midfield. And considering Milivojevic has already scored a goal, I'll keep him on, so I'll substitute MacArthur for Meyer. Townsend making a run down the right flank, cutting this one back inside. Finding Zaha, and back to Townsend. Now it's Wan-Bissaka. Can he send in a good cross? It's deflected, and we get a corner kick out of it. That was looking like it might be on target just for a second there, but we'll take this corner kick short, and Zaha to dribble it in. Finding a passing option, and MacArthur, and another pass inside to Benteke. Getting tackled, and we need to press if we want to get one more attack in. Lucas. Finding Campana. I think West Ham might have just seen out the result. Mark Noble dribbling to the corner. We'll keep the high press going, and we've won a header here. Can we get one more attack in? Now, Carlos Sanchez, good tackle there. We found Benteke. He'll play it out wide to Bolasie. One final opportunity for us as Bolasie plays a nice skill move, and this West Ham defense has just been too good. Somehow the ref letting us play on. Christian Benteke with one final effort, cleared away, and while it was a valiant effort, we fall just short against the league-leading West Ham United side. There were definitely some positives to take from this game, though. I like the 4-4-1-1 formation, and I think that's a really solid secondary option for us from the 4-3-3. But looking at the player ratings, it went to a West Ham United player, Marto Arnautovic, with a 9.1 rating, getting man of the match. Monthly scouting report coming through from the Ivory Coast, and I'm also going to implement another comment that I saw saying I shouldn't just sign 94 potential players. I should also look at the player's overall rating and value. That's a good shout, because if a player has 2 less for his potential, that really won't make too much of a difference. For example, this guy, I might have signed if his value is higher, but we'll pass on him for now. Moving on, we'll see if we have any 90-plus potential players. This Coffee guy, too low for the value. However, we do have Ibrahim Ndiaye, a 49 to 65 overall, 72 to 94 potential. The value is right where it should be, so we'll sign him up to our youth academy. We'll pass on this guy, and moving on, we have 2 final options. However, I think their value is just too low. Who doesn't like a good derby match? And this fixture between us and Brighton will hold a little bit more significance considering our place in the table. I'm looking for a win to push Brighton further down the table and hopefully move us up and past Manchester City. Stamina is definitely going to play a factor in the coming months as we have a heavily congested schedule in December. However, for this match, I've just made the one change to our starting 11, bringing in Ayew for Benteke at the striker position, but I've also opted to include Peter Price in the bench for this one. If he's going to become a star for this team, he needs to step up in crucial moments, and what better way than in a derby match? I think you could argue that both us and Brighton have done well for ourselves, placing as high as we have in the Premier League table, but Brighton have taken a page out of our book, opting for that 4-4-1-1 formation. Townsend playing through Meyer. This could be an early shot on target. And Max Meyer trying to continue his goal-scoring form, but Matt Ryan pulls off a good save. We do have a throw-in, though. And Zaha set to take it. We'll call Loftus-Cheek short, and he'll control this, playing it backwards to Van Aanholt. Now it's Milivojevic, spawning out the pass in Wan-Bissaka. We'll try to get creative here and generate a chance. Unfortunately, Loftus-Cheek loses hold of it, and Brighton on the counter. What can they do with it? West Ham beat us on the break last game. And we're trying to be a little bit more compact this time around. We do well to get numbers. Chance half cleared. And what a save that was by Guaita. I thought for sure that was heading for the back of the net, but our goalkeeper being solid as always, and a really good hit there from Arnold. I think is another former Bundesliga talent from Wolfsburg, if I recall correctly. But corner kick here for Brighton. We'll try to get this one away as they take it quickly, and that one sailing over the crossbar. Wow. The goals the CPU are scoring today are absolutely incredible. Izquierdo with a finesse shot effort right around the 18-yard box. And he put that one well past Guaita, who pulled off a number of good saves early in the match, but there's not much he can do here. We'll take a look at the replay. And it's Max Arnold with a nice fake shot to create some space and a really solid finesse shot effort. Can we get a finesse shot effort of our own? Max Meyer, open look on goal. Unfortunately, not on target, though. Give it another chance, I think he'll do better. Man, that is another really unfortunate goal to concede. The cross was perfectly placed right between our defenders and the goalkeeper. Not far enough, not close enough that Guaita could come out and punch it out. And all of a sudden, we're 2-0 down, similar to our match against West Ham United. I think I'm going to be forced into another formation change. Jordan Ayew, another finesse shot, and another open look on goal. That's twice, though, where they missed from a similar range. And had we converted on those, we could have a match on our hands. What a switch of play by Brighton. And they're going to get one more attack here before the halftime break. How are these headed efforts going in? It happened against Harry Kane in the last episode, and this one from Arnold, the number 15. The CPU is just on a freaking rampage today, and they like to score goals. The header was probably 17 yards out, but still, an unmarked player is unacceptable. Here's a look at the statistics. I feel pretty hard done to be down 3-0, but I guess it's time for us to make a comeback. We've switched to the 4-4-1-1 formation once again. The same change as last match where I brought on Balassi for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Please play that through ball and get there. Come on, Zaha. He just got out-muscled and taken to the ground. Balassi's through. He needs to get there, though. I have a few options here on the far post. We'll play it, and that's one goal back. Let's get into this match. Still plenty of time left. The number 14, believe that's Zaha to score, and we needed him to step up. Actually, that's Ayew. A really good header here from Jordan Ayew. The keeper dove in the wrong direction, but that was well placed. Even if he dove the right way, I don't think he would have gotten it. What a save by Guaita. Even though he's conceded 3 goals, he has pulled off some incredible saves. And I think, more than anything, it's the defense that has let him down. Ayew spotting out the run from Zaha. An option to play it out wide to Balassi. He has Andros Townsend on the far post. Can we get there? Oh, that was an acrobatic effort from Townsend. I think that was the only logical option he could have done there. Nearly got to the ball. Ayew to play through Zaha. His shot is in the back of the net. It's 3-2. 20 minutes left in this one. We have a match on our hands, boys. And I'm ready to get the equalizer, if not the winner. That's a clutch goal from Zaha. Good finish. Are we talking 3-3? Let's go! I know I'm not talking too much right now in the commentary, but I'm just focusing on getting back in this game. This 4-4-1-1 formation is just gelling. Players are getting in the right position. That drag back from Zaha was beautiful, and he tucked it into the corner. We have a match on our hands. We're going for the winner. Oh, we read that pass, and it goes straight back to Gross. We finally get it away. And can we get on another counter? We have numbers forward. I think that's Balassi making the run. The defender got a piece of it, but we're still with it. Can Zaha finish this one on the near post for the winner? Oh, what a save by Matt Ryan. Maybe we should have gone with the finesse shot to the far post. But instead, we went with a power shot on the near. We didn't really have any other options around us, so just a corner kick. We'll call a player short to bait out a Brighton player. We'll actually take it short because they're not going to close us down. Meyer. Finesse shot. Players around him. But it's a goal kick. Not much time left in this one. We need to get forward if we want to get a winner. Looking for options. Eventually, we'll play it through to Max Meyer. He's through on goal. Can he outrun the Brighton players? It's a big tackle. It'll fall to Zaha, though. The ref letting us play on for a few more seconds. Finding Meyer. Playing it through to Yannick Bolasie. He'll try a skill move to cut this one inside. Brighton hanging on for dear life. We'll send this to the far post. Can Andros Townsend rise up? He can, but it's not on target. What a match this was, though. Brighton went up 3-0. We marched back in the second half, ending with a draw, and I think both teams are pretty happy about that. And you really don't see that happen every day on career mode. There's just something about a derby match. You can see from the stats that we weren't the most clinical team, but we were really strong to just get back into it and get a lot of shots on target. Wilfried Zaha picking up man of the match with a 9.3 rating. Another monthly scouting update has arrived from Portugal, which brought us a really strong defender in Mario Rocha, and we might have another one here in Acuna. Looks to be a holding midfielder. A pretty good value, so although he doesn't have 94 potential, we'll still add him to our youth academy. And moving on, we have Miguel de Mesquites, a 51 to 65 overall, 76 to 94 potential. Again, good value, so we'll sign him. Vitor Sampaio, 44 to 56 overall, 71 to 91 potential. Value's pretty low. For now, Pauletta, 48 to 64 overall, 75 to 94 potential. He has that 94 potential, so he's an instant signing for us. And our final player in this network is Florencio Caldera, 40 to 56 overall, 67 to 93 potential. We'll watch him for another month. Despite just getting a draw in our last match, we're hanging in there trying to fight for the top 6 as Manchester City sit just 1 point above us. Actually, Spurs just 2 points above us, and we can break into the top 4 if we can find a good run of form. But our focus will be on Leicester City, who are just behind us in 8th. We're going to be forced into making some major changes to our starting 11 purely due to stamina issues. Our back line is completely different. We have Schlupp, Riedwald, Ayer, and Ward for our back 4, and then a couple of changes in our midfield and front 3. Now, for now, I'll still be sticking with the 4-3-3 formation as my default. However, considering my run of form with a 4-4-1-1, I might think about switching to that in the future as my default formation. I've got to say, Leicester City have one of the most fun teams to use in career mode. The overall ratings might not be there, but they have players that just play well. It's a really nice layoff pass from MacArthur over to Loftus-Cheek. Unfortunately, it was a good save by Schmeichel. We'll keep the pressure up, though, and we might have just won a corner kick. Indeed, we did. And we'll send that in to Benteke. He might be able to challenge for that. But instead, it's cleared out of the box, and we'll have to start from the back. It's Schlupp. To Milivojevic. MacArthur. Nice drag back. And now finding Andros Townsend. Looking to split a couple players. A nice pass inside. Christian Benteke is going to slot it home. And his goal-scoring form will continue. Still haven't made any final decisions on what I'll be doing with him in January. Obviously, there's the option of selling him to another team and then bringing in a really strong left wing option, but Benteke is always contributing goals, and it's hard to sell a player that's doing that. That is an incredible save from a good shot. And Guaita, man, I just love having him between the sticks, and although he's getting older, I can still see him being our first choice keeper for the next year or two. Nice ball played out wide to Gazelle. Cutting this one in now. Over to Iheanacho. What can he do? Iborra finding Gazelle once again. Leicester not optioning for crosses instead. Always looking for the short passes. And they might just go for a long shot here. And Ndidi, he might have shot that one from earlier. But this time around, he will bury that chance. And it's 1-1. Guaita can only save so many. Need to watch that inside pass. Ayer trying to cover it as best we can. But again, Leicester not willing to cross it. Instead, they're always looking for the long shot effort, and they almost want to pass it into the back of the net as it's Ricardo Pereira pushing up from his fullback position. If we can get a takeaway, then we might have a counterattack on our hands, but it's hard to get the ball off Leicester in the first place. Ricardo over to Ndidi. We can't let him shoot again. And that's a really nice skill move, which led to an even better save. Here we go, nice split over to MacArthur. I wanted him to take one more touch on his right foot just to see out that pass to Andros Townsend. Unfortunately, MacArthur had different plans in mind, and that attack comes to an end. And that's going to be a header away by Harry Maguire. Not much we can do there. I think it was one of our shorter players on the far post. And the England international will make it 2 for Leicester just before the break. And that's how we'll stand at halftime. Leicester creating far more chances than we did. Not good statistics on our end. I'll give this 4-3-3 formation a few more minutes, but I think I might just switch again to the 4-4-1-1. Man, we are losing a lot of headers today. And now that we're down 2 goals, I'm going to make that change to the 4-4-1-1 formation. Bring on Zaha and just hope that he can inject some pace into the team and we can get back into it. And this is going to be the loadout moving forward. I took Ruben Loftus-Cheek off and brought on Zaha. We'll also have to think about swapping Milivojevic because he's getting tired. We have options here. Benteke making a nice run through, and we're going to eventually play it over to Andros Townsend. He'll go with a finesse shot effort on the far post. He cannot seem to finish those chances. It happened in the last episode, I want to say against Manchester United. And again here, an open look on goal, just putting it just a few inches wide. Oh, Ayer rose up well. He couldn't get the header on target. That could have gotten us back into the match. And with just 15 minutes left, we really need to start pouring forward players. And all we can do is try to press, hope that Leicester will make a mistake and get them on the counter. But look at all the lucky deflections going their way. Iheanacho with a chance. He'll play it out wide to Silva. And now they're going to start wasting a few minutes of the clock. And Ndidi holding off possession. Leicester are in no rush. We'll make one more change in this one, taking off Milivojevic and bringing on Koyate just to preserve a little bit of his fitness. That's a good save by Schmeichel. Can we follow it up? 2 good saves from Schmeichel. The Leicester keeper has done really well today. Other than conceding the early goal, him in the defense has been on fire. And Zaha burning a couple of players, getting surrounded by the Leicester team. We'll try to play in the middle to no avail. Finesse shot effort wasn't far off. It's just, we're a few inches away from really getting back in this game. We're generating chances, we're just not clinical enough. That's a tough way to end off this episode, but that's to be expected with Ultimate Difficulty. I'm going to struggle here and there, and you can't expect for me to win every single game. I'm happy to have gotten at least a draw against Brighton, though, and I think this 4-4-1-1 formation is a decent shout. Man of the match today going to Ibora with a 9.2 rating. But guys, hope you did enjoy this episode of the Crystal Palace Career Mode. If you did, feel free to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you guys again soon.